Computer. Hello, it's Sam Galloway again here with Amanda Hanna. We're here for our second part of four, and this time we're going to be talking about how to stop anxiety spiraling at night and get back to sleep because it's a huge issue for people who are neurodivergent who have lifelong sleep challenges as it is. And then when perimenopause hits, that can often fire way off into insomnia.
Uh,
And it's
me-
fueled by hormonal flux.
mm,
Yeah.
and I mean, sleep is so important. And it's the one thing that it's like, we're going to take this thing from you, even though it's the one thing that's going to help.
Mhm.
It's a lot. Yeah, that nighttime, because it can be a couple different things in terms of is the challenge to fall asleep? Is it
Mhm.
that I wake up and then can't fall back asleep? So I'll kind of talk through a couple different things, and then
Okay.
there will be some tools and things that we can unpack as well. Because a lot of the time, what's happening is that kind of shift and change from the cortisol and the melatonin. So that melatonin that's helping us drop to sleep, stay asleep. What interrupts that to wake us up in the morning is cortisol. So cortisol comes in and says, time to wake up, so that melatonin goes down. But if we have those either intrusive thoughts, ruminating thoughts, or that anxiety come in, that's cortisol rich. So it's
Mhm.
already disrupting that melatonin. So what we want to try and do is have the tools or the things that can help just support the lowering of cortisol so that at least we're getting that melatonin goodness coursing through. So it's kind of thinking about what does quality sleep mean to me? And sometimes we think sleep has to be like REM sleep or deep sleep. But if we are having those hormonal shifts or the anxiety spaces and places that our brain is going down, it can also be that reminder of it's okay to rest and not be fully sleeping. So that can kind of take the pressure off because our brain might be like, I have to fall asleep, I have to fall asleep. And then that starts the spiral even more.
Mhm.
So sometimes that reminder of, are there restful things I could do in the moments when sleep is not happening?
Mm.
So maybe it's something like just reminding ourselves, I can't force sleep because that's going to put the pressure on and make that loop worse. So could I do a more soothing, like maybe I get out of bed and I do something that helps my brain calm down, whether it's a restful task or it's like putting a something over the eyes to just help that feeling of rest. Because then the body is at least maybe getting into that parasympathetic or that rest and digest state.
Mhm.
So, some of the tools that can help disrupt that anxiety loop are giving somewhere else for the brain to focus. But that has to happen only once kind of the brain understands that you're not going to forget what it's trying to tell you,
Right.
which may sound silly because the brain's
Mhm.
like, don't forget this thing because this could be really important. And you're like, I will remember to get milk in the morning. Like, thank you so much, brain. So sometimes it's like the mechanical writing something down and being like,
Mm.
pick up milk in the morning or XYZ. So that brain understands it's gone through the body and that we've made the action to remember this thing or to
Mm.
act on this thing that the brain's trying to hold on to. So getting it all out, if you have like a stream of consciousness journal or a to-do list that you can just put things there and then sometimes it's the soothing techniques. So what that means is like, how do I work with my body to almost lull into a rest state? So this can actually mean like swaying your gaze from side to side. So if
Mhm.
I look to the right and then to the left and keep kind of shifting the eyes from side to side, the brain's like, oh, it's bedtime now. And that can at
Mhm.
least start to soothe the high cortisol.
Mm.
Stuff like that can help. And thinking about things that can start to set the association of sleep. So for some people, it's like my the lighting has to dim at a certain time, or certain lights have to go off at a certain time to start signaling to the body, okay, it's time to go to bed now, or at least time to rest. And that can be one that just helps, say, decrease that cortisol by even 1%.
Mm.
So that over time, maybe the intrusive thoughts are even 1% less, and we start to build towards that. And then if we wake up in the middle of the night, it's like, okay, I'm going to lay here. And what is it like to know that I'm resting even though I'm not sleeping? And that can sometimes help the brain be like, okay, this isn't sleep, it's rest. And then over time, it can start to turn back into sleep. But the brains are so fascinating because it'll kind of depend on what it is that's trying to hold the attention. So have you noticed anything that's like, this is typically the thing that always comes up, or this is the thing that often disrupts sleep? Like, is it the before sleep, the during?
Um, yeah, that's a good question. I take melatonin to help with sleep onset. Um, and I'm on all sorts of ADHD meds as well. So I take stimulants and non-stimulants.
Yeah.
Um, and sleep onset is pretty much okay for me.
Yeah.
I wake up in the night. I've written recently about urinary incontinence and like getting up to go to the toilet. Like that was happening a lot before I saw a pelvic health physio, and she
Yeah.
helped me to stagger the times I go to the toilet during the
Good.
day, and that's had an impact on the night as well.
Yeah.
So I don't really wake up thinking I don't have the urge immediately. Like if I can feel there's something in my bladder, I don't go, well, I have to go let it out now because it can't possibly stay in me. So
Yeah.
I can stay in bed if so it doesn't wake me up as much, but I tend to wake up about 4 and it's either my cat comes in and starts scratching at things,
Yeah.
or it's always the same time. And I've been looking into I've started treatment for mast cell activation
Mm.
syndrome, MCAS.
Yeah.
And I don't have the itchiness and stuff, but apparently around 3 or 4 a.m. your body will do what's called a histamine dump, and that can also wake you up. And then I
Yeah.
have real problems getting back to sleep.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because body's like, okay, I'm ready to clean house.
Hmm.
Wake
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And you're like, can you do this on your own time,
Yeah.
please? No, do it
Let me
right
rest.
now.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. But you named something really important there when you said getting to know when I don't have the urgency, like I
Mm,
can stay here and sit with it. Because that's actually like that tool there, the understanding how to work with our bodies and know, is this urgent or is this something I can sit with?
mm,
It's one of the biggest tools across the board that can help soothe the mind space.
mhm,
Because when the mind is like, oh, we don't have to jump up and do this thing right now. We can actually sit with discomfort, not pain, not suffering, but we can sit with challenge. We can sit with discomfort. Then that starts to kind of shift and change the relationship between mind and body, where your mind's
mhm,
like, I don't have to sit here fixating on going to the bathroom because I
mm,
trust that if we do need to go, we will then get up.
mhm,
So it's like establishing that bit of trust. And tangent, I'm going to go a different direction for a moment because my brain.
mhm.
Have you heard of open monitoring or mind? Like it's called open monitoring in psych cognitive spaces.
No, I haven't.
Basically, a fancy way to say daydreaming and
Okay.
mind wandering.
Mm,
Because one of the big things that happens either at night when we're trying to fall asleep or when we wake up in the middle of the night is the hippocampus in our brain is I kind of think of her as a librarian where the campus has a library and the
mm,
librarian's the hippo, so
mhm,
hippocampus. And this hippo librarian is always trying to match the emotion, the thought, the experience, and turn it into a memory and put it in the
mm,
filing cabinet. So if we have very on busy brains moving through a very on and busy world, if we don't have a whole lot of time during our day for the hippocampus to file things away and clean up the library, she's going to do it the second we try and put our head on the pillow. Because
okay.
basically, the
Yeah.
hippocampus is like, oh, we have a break from focusing on things. Let me
Mm.
clean up the library and do my job. And you're like, right now? And that's why we can think of the most out the gate random things because hippocampus is trying to reconcile everything it's processed and received throughout the day.
Mm. Yeah.
We have moments where we can have as little external stimuli, like if I'm somebody who likes to go for a walk and listen to music, can I spend a few minutes of that walk without music and let the hippocampus clean up the library? Like
Mm.
give myself full permission to do daydreaming and mind wandering because it's one of the biggest things society has taken from us as well, where they're like,
Mm.
pay attention, be productive. You're like,
Yeah.
that
I
is
have real
literally not
trouble
how
with
brain.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
brains
always
do
plugged
not.
into a podcast or a webinar or my
Yeah,
brain's occupied all the time.
right? And
Yeah.
it's exciting because we're like, I
Mm.
want to learn, I want to do this, I have
Yeah.
to do this,
Hmm.
X, Y, Z. But that, like the hippocampus, think about it like if you're on your laptop and you
Mm.
have 18 windows open with 75 different tabs in each.
Yeah.
Some are playing music, some's got everything happening over here. The hippocampus basically gets to the point where she's like, I can't cope with this. Shut down the laptop.
Hmm.
Done.
Yeah.
Or it's like, process this, process this,
Mm.
process this. But if we incorporate those moments throughout the day, and it doesn't have to be big, long, silent meditations, it can
Mm.
be those before I turn on the music, I'm going to give myself 1 minute.
Okay.
Before I do
That's
this,
manageable. Yeah.
yeah, like
Because I
short,
can't even have a shower without the AirPods in and listen, like under a shower cap, listening to something.
yeah,
Yeah.
like pockets. So
Yeah.
maybe it's like 30 seconds
Okay. I
before
can, yeah.
I X, I'm going to
Yeah.
mind wander.
Okay.
And then C, does
Mm.
that create a little bit less library cleanup at
Mm.
night?
Hmm.
And because that's kind of she's got to find time to do it. So
Hmm.
if we're not making it, she will take it.
Ah, amazing. Yeah.
Brains,
Yeah.
the coolest, coolest. And I'll offer one more touch-based one for those that are more tactile or sensory. One that, so kind of like the one I talked about where you can sway your eyes from side to side. This is one where you can take either like one or two fingers and draw a figure eight around your eye.
Okay. Mm.
So this is one that incorporates what's called bilateral stimulation. So
Mm.
one side to the other. But that figure eight is also stimulating just kind of this movement through the eyes,
Mm.
sensory tracking that can also help to downregulate that amygdala. So
Okay.
some people will do that
Mm.
right before bed, or if they
Yeah.
wake up and they're like, okay, well, at least this is restful. And
Mm.
sometimes like, oh, I fell back asleep. Look at me.
Oh, awesome. I'm trying that tonight. Thank you.
I do
Great.
it most nights where I'm just like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
bedtime routine. Let's just
Yeah.
do one of these.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Awesome. Thanks, Amanda.
absolutely.
Great. Shall we leave it there for this topic and
Perfect.
we'll sign off and record the next one?
See you soon.
Thank you.